Hello everyone, Formula Ford here and welcome to today's video where we will be continuing our last question mark challenge here on the F124 game. For this video we will be racing around the Spanish Grand Prix circuit in Catalonia and we will be driving as Carlos Sainz for this video. It's been quite a while since I've done one of these, so I might be a bit rusty on the game. I've just been enjoying the MotoGP 24 game a little bit more, but I am going to try and do this alongside the MotoGP series once again. So we'll have no assists, the AI difficulty is going to be at 101 for this, and we will have a short qualifying session to set us at the back of the grid, as well as a 25% race. The conditions will be clear, and we will also be running all the rules and flags on all immersive, and we will also have the corner cutting on regular for this video as we get ready for the race weekend now.
Welcome along everyone to sunny Spain, specifically to the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya. So many great moments in Formula One history have been written at this very track over the years, including Michael Schumacher's first win for Ferrari back in '96. That win was in the rain. We might have better weather here today, but we're just as overjoyed to be at the Spanish Grand Prix. It's an updated track at Catalonia, and we welcome the removal of the chicane in the final sector, shortening lap times and reducing the total running to 2.9 miles and 14 turns. This was actually the original setup for the track, but it hasn't been used since 2007. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday and he'll start from pole position. Edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Fernando Alonso, Oscar Piastri, Russell, Perez, Stroll, Hamilton, Leclerc, Ocon, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Gasly, Albon, Hülkenberg, Magnussen, Joe, Bottas, Sargent, and Carlos Sainz will start from the back of the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. And alongside me in the commentary box today, former racing driver herself, Naomi Schiff. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, every driver certainly has their own way of preparing themselves before a race. But I can tell you that pre-race rituals are a real thing. When I was in go-karting, I used to touch every wheel in a specific sequence before I got into the kart. And then I stepped up to cars and had a specific set of fireproof base layers just for race day. So watch the drivers when they're on the grid. Some may be sitting on the floor and isolating, others may be up to other things that they do. But these little things really help their minds get ready for the race.
This is not going to be an easy race from this position, but just give it your best shot.
Mark just given us a little bit of advice there. It looks like we're going to go from a medium to soft in this race, as well as just get some of the fuel out. This is just a quick rundown of what the setup is. You can pause that at any time to see what I was running for this race as we now get ready to start the race. Back of the grid, as Carlos Sainz at the Spanish Grand Prix. How many positions can we make in this race? Lights out and away we go. It is a good start there for Logan Sargent ahead of us, and Bottas gets an initial getaway, and we're just looking to go in between these guys here as it's all bunching up as we go into turn one. How many positions can we make? And we got 3 cars alongside us. We're trying to keep it clean as we're coming into turn 2 now, and we're just up into 17th place. We're looking to get around Nico Hülkenberg ahead of us in 16th place. We're now jostling for the inside line, but he kind of cuts that off. Are we still going to get the inside anyway? Yes, we do, into turn 4, and we're up into 16th place as we're now coming into, we're going to get up the inside of Magnussen. Yes, we do, and we're into 15th place already as we're now onto the back of Daniel Ricciardo and Alex Albon. They're jostling for 13th place in this race. They go side by side through the chicane here, and are we going to be able to get at the inside of Daniel Ricciardo? We sneak at the inside of him as Albon gets ahead of him also. We're into 14th place, looking around the outside of Alex Albon into 13th place at turn 10 here. Then we're still side by side with Alex Albon. Are we going to be able to get at the inside here and squeeze him out? Yes, we do, and we're up into 13th place, and it looks like but we have made 7 places from the start as we go on to lap 2. Are we going to be able to get the inside of Yuki Tsunoda into here? He is defending the inside. Are we still going to go for that inside move into turn 1 here? Are we going to be able to do anything against Yuki Tsunoda here? Yes, we do. And we're at the inside of Yuki Tsunoda as we now are into 12th place in this race. Just looking at the car there, tyres are up to temperature and everything. And we now look at Pierre Gasly, who is in 11th place, just behind his teammate Esteban Ocon.
You might experience some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible.
Yeah, Mark just stating the obvious there. We obviously are in the dirty air at the moment as we're looking to go behind Pierre Gasly. It is one of the high downforce tracks as well, so we just get DRS here. We're going to be able to close in as we come into turn 10 now on Pierre Gasly. Not quite yet, but we might be able to do something down the straight here as we're coming into here now. Nice and late on the brakes, trying to charge up the battery as we are going to be able to have a go at Pierre Gasly into here, are we? As it looks like it is a McLaren 1-2 at the moment in this race as we are settling into 12th place. Are we going to be able to do anything against the Alpines as Gasly looks at his teammate Ocon into turn 1, but Ocon is going to keep his nose in there as we go into turn 2 now. They're still scrapping for 10th place here. Are we going to be able to get an opportunity into turn 3 here as we go around up the inside of both of them here? Are we going to be able to get the move done as one of them looks like they're going to try and scrap it between us, but they're still side by side as we're coming through, and it looks like Ocon is just ahead of his teammate Pierre Gasly, and we slot into 10th place. We now look forward to our teammate Charles Leclerc in 9th place. Skip to the end of lap 4 as we get a little bit of oversteer going over the curve there, but we should be within DRS of Charles Leclerc here as we go on to lap 5 of this Grand Prix. He's not got DRS on Lance Stroll in front. Are we going to be able to go up the inside or around the outside? What we're going to do is he covers the inside, so we're going to have to go around the outside, but we cleanly get that done on around the outside of turn 1 on our teammate Charles Leclerc, and we go into 9th place as we look ahead now at Lance Stroll for 8th. We skip ahead to midway through lap 6 of this Grand Prix as we're struggling for the back end as we're up.
Gasly. Right, they've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring.
So Pierre Gasly is out of this race, Mark has just told us. As we're going to go up the inside of Lance Stroll into turn 10 here, are we going to be able to get that move done? Yes, we do. And we are now up into 8th place as we are catching this train of 6 cars ahead, starting with Lewis Hamilton in 7th place. As we are now charging the battery to then get...
It's time to utilise some of this energy, come on.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing, Mark, if you were just going to listen to me there. But yeah, we're going to go and set the move on for Lewis Hamilton here. Are we going to look to the inside of turn 1 here? Yes, we are. And we're going to make that move stick into turn 1? Yes, we do. And we're up into 7th place now as we look ahead of those cars ahead. And it is first starting with Sergio Perez in 6th in that Red Bull. At the end of lap 7 now, we have now caught up to that train starting with Sergio Perez. We have charged up the battery, so we should be able to make a move on Sergio Perez here. Are we going to go to the outside or inside for this one? He is looking for a move on George Russell. Are we going to try and make a move here? Well, no, we're just going to try and settle back and look for an opportunity here. But it looks like George Russell is going to stay ahead, so we're going to try and go to the inside of Sergio Perez into here. We get a little bit of grass, we get a bit of oversteer, but we make that move stick as we're now into 6th place looking ahead at George Russell. We're going to be able to make a move on George Russell coming into the next turn. It looks like he's just a little bit too far away, so we're going to have to look for a move elsewhere as it is Lando Norris in the lead of this race as Oscar Piastri is holding up the cars ahead, which involves Max Verstappen, Fernando Alonso and George Russell just ahead of us. So we're going to get into this DRS zone and have a move on George Russell. He looks like he's a bit too far away, but we're going to try for the dive bomb. We had a little look, but nothing doing, as we are probably going to try and make a move on the straight now. Looks a little bit of the around the outside there, but nothing doing. So we're going to charge the battery up again and look for a move on George Russell here, but he goes into the pits alongside Max Verstappen and we're still going to get the DRS, but we're not going to make a move into turn 1 now, I don't think, as we are gaining on Alonso here. He's saving the battery actually. We're going to make a move at the inside of Fernando Alonso into here. We make a little bit of contact as we're coming into turn 1. He kind of catches us off guard, but we do make the move on Alonso there, and we're up into second place as we look ahead now for Oscar Piastri, but obviously the cars behind have pitted, so are we going to be able to overcut them? We shall see as we progress further into this Grand Prix. But we make a lock up into turn 4 here, and are we going to give the opportunity back to Fernando Alonso? Yes we do, as he comes up our inside just before turn 5 here, and are we going to have to make another move on him as we get a bit of oversteer again? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got it, Mark, just leave it to me. But we're going to have a look at the inside of Alonso again, then we're going to go around the outside of him. I think it takes a little swipe at us again, and we're going side by side into here. Are we going to force him out here? Yes we do, and it looks like we will be making our pit stop at the end of this lap as we're coming in now just behind Oscar Piastri here. Are we going to make the marks as we come into here? Yes, we nail that pretty good as we now get ready to turn into the box. We get that optimal, so we should have a good pit stop here.
Okay, off
and
we
yes,
go,
we get a good stop, 2.4, and we have gained on Piastri a little bit here. As we come out of the pits, where are we going to come out? Have we overtaken anyone on this overcut? As it looks like, yes we have a little bit, so we are ahead of Sergio Perez, we're ahead of Stroll and Russell, and we're up into 4th place, and we are now on the fast tyre as we look for the podium. First we must overtake Oscar Piastri, who occupies 3rd place in this race. And are we going to look up the inside of Oscar Piastri into turn 1? Yes we do, we make a late move, but we should be able to make that move down, and we do. Up into 3rd place now, as all eyes are on Max Verstappen in 2nd place. End of lap 11 now, and we should be able to make a move on Max Verstappen as we come into turn 1 again, as we've charged up the battery, as we get the fastest lap of the race on lap 11, as we have got ultra speed up against Max Verstappen, and we go round the outside quite comfortably as he has not got DRS and was pretty much saving his battery on the exit there as we deployed it all. And now we set our sights on Lando Norris, who has controlled it from the start here, as we are now set the fastest first sector of this lap as we begin our hunt for the victory here in Spain. It has taken us to the end of lap 16 here to make gains on Lando Norris and get within his DRS. As we open the DRS now, we should be able to make the move on Lando Norris into here, as he will be defenceless without DRS. We got up the inside and we are into the lead of the Spanish Grand Prix with just the last lap to go, and we should be able to win it from here as long as we don't give Lando Norris another sniff of getting an overtake done, as we have depleted the battery now, so he will be a little bit under threat, as Max Verstappen is having a bit of a battle now with Lando Norris, as he has kept tabs with us in this Grand Prix. The top 4 is covered by a whole second in this race, so it has been a very close Grand Prix, other than Lando Norris's dominant start to it all. As we are now coming into the last few corners, Lando Norris is still within DRS, but we should be able to control the lead now, as it looks like it is going to end up like this, as we are coming through the last corners now, as the Spaniard Carlos Sainz from the back of the grid. We have made it into first on the last lap as we round the last corner. Carlos Sainz wins the Spanish Grand Prix from last on the grid.
Yes! We did it! Yes! Vamos!
And Carlos Sainz sees the checkered flag and wins.
And you can just see how much this means to the fans as well, the energy that they were giving the driver all day today. A race win at home feels like 10 race wins elsewhere.
Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
And there we have it. Carlos Sainz is the winner of the Spanish Grand Prix after starting in last. We get the fastest lap as well to take maximum points on this weekend. Lando Norris comes home in second place after controlling that lead for a very good few amount of laps. Max Verstappen then gets the last place on the podium here as Oscar Piastri in the McLaren comes home in fourth. Sergio Perez gets fifth in that Red Bull ahead of Lance Stroll, who has an impressive Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton then comes next in the Mercedes, just ahead of his teammate George Russell. Fernando Alonso comes home in ninth for Aston Martin, and Charles Leclerc gets the last point in that race after dropping one place from ninth. Alex Albon then gains 3 spots just to miss out on points in 11th. Yuki Tsunoda comes home in 12th for that RB Visa Cash App team. And then Esteban Ocon comes home in 13th place for the Alpine team, just ahead of Aussie Daniel Ricciardo in 14th place for the RB team. Kevin Magnussen then comes home in 15th, just ahead of Nico Hulkenberg in 16th. Zhou Guanyu then finishes in 17th place for the Sauber team, just ahead of his teammate Valtteri Bottas in 18th. Logan Sargent comes home in 19th place as Pierre Gasly is our only retiree in this Spanish Grand Prix. And that, everyone, is the end of today's video. Thank you for watching, and if you have enjoyed this video then be sure to give it a like. If you are new around here then do get subscribed for more motorsport content like this. I have been Formula Ford, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you?